No Man's Sky is a journey into the unknown that has continued to keep me engaged for years on end, and somehow, despite its rocky launch, millions of players still find themselves playing it every day. But why is that? Simply put, there's something magical about No Man's Sky. Besides the story, you aren't given a clear direction on where to go or what to do. In a similar way to Minecraft, you are pretty much supposed to create your own fun, which, in a largely procedurally generated game, can be quite hard to do. Many players have taken to living in large, player-built societies that live across hundreds if not thousands of star systems, hosting events and doing fun activities such as scheduled races and even scheduled combat fights in player-made arenas. But beyond the social aspects and the grand community projects, No Man's Sky has this innate ability to pull you into a state of relaxation and calmness, something not many games can manage to do. The game's atmosphere, both literally and figuratively, is what makes it so meditative. This meditative quality is further amplified by the game's lack of urgency. Yes, there are minor survival elements. You need to keep your life support systems charged, protect yourself from extreme environmental hazards, and occasionally fend off hostile creatures or sentinels, but these mechanics rarely ever feel punishing. If anything, they're just there to add to the immersion and keep you engaged with the world. Instead of creating constant tension or stress, these systems gently encourage you to pay attention to your surroundings and occupy yourself with light resource management, ultimately letting you explore at your own pace without feeling overwhelmed. The game doesn't want to punish you, rather, it wants you to enjoy its vast mix of procedurally generated and carefully handcrafted content without making you feel bogged down by tedious micromanagement or excessive pressure. It's a delicate balance that No Man's Sky holds exceptionally well, allowing players to immerse themselves in its universe and experience the joy of discovery without being burdened by unnecessary difficulty and frustration. Speaking of procedurally generated content, this brings us to what I personally believe is the biggest issue with No Man's Sky: repetition. Despite how impressive the gigantic universe of No Man's Sky is, endless and infinite procedural generation isn't for everyone, and I totally get why. Inevitably, things will start to look samey. The new planet you just landed on could look exactly the same as the planet you landed on 30 minutes ago. It's an inherent limitation of procedural generation. While it can produce an almost infinite amount of content, that content is often built from a relatively small set of patterns and assets. And with enough playtime, you will eventually come across many repetitive aspects of the game in general. There are only 8 different starship types, and while each ship you encounter may have minor cosmetic differences, the variations are subtle and don't really change much. Space station interiors largely look the exact same, with an exception to pirate stations or abandoned stations, which are very rare and all look the same themselves. And so, I understand why this game isn't for everyone. I mean, my own brother isn't a fan of this game at all, voicing that he finds it more repetitive than Minecraft at times. But for those who can embrace its rhythm and see past the repetition, the experience is something that just can't be found anywhere else. Where else can I seamlessly leave my base, hop in my starship, and be collecting rare crystals on a completely different world all in about 2 minutes without a single loading screen? There is so much more to this game I haven't even mentioned in this video. Personally, I don't really utilize many of the major aspects of the game. You can literally run your own settlement and decide on laws. I haven't done that yet, and I'm not really urging myself to progress to that point very soon. No Man's Sky, to me, is about slowing down, smelling the roses, and appreciating the little things. I have never admired virtual scenery in any other game like I have with No Man's Sky. So, if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Just remember that it's not for everyone, and that's completely fine. And something I quickly wanted to mention while editing this video is that this game actually has VR support. And let me just say, the VR support in this game is absolutely insane. Like, I've played this game in VR, and it is unreal. Probably one of the best VR experiences you can have. Like, just the sense of scale you get when looking at a planet or landing on a planet in VR is absolutely insane, and I highly recommend it if you have, like, a VR headset. But, yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like or subscribe, I want to do a longer video on No Man's Sky eventually, so if you want to see that, subscribe, and it will be coming soon, yeah, have a good day. Thanks for watching.